By 1959, a revolution turned Cuba's course. Castro seized power aligned with Soviet force. U.S. policy shifted from diplomacy to fight. Cold War fear demanded covert ways and might. After Bay of Pigs failure, planners met and planned Operation Mongoose, sanctioned in '61, a clandestine campaign to unseat Castro's run. Sabotage, subversion, economic pain, covert actions aimed to break the regime's reign. Authorized by executive order, overseen by JFK's team, a special group managed funds and Robert Kennedy took the beam. Goals included fomenting unrest, disrupting supply, supporting exile networks to strike from outside. Paramilitary training, propaganda raids and why. Operation Mongoose, multiple tracks in place, psychological operations and raids by night and day. Economic harassment, infrastructure struck, a campaign of many tools to force a sudden flux. Planners recruited exiles, used clandestine sea and air. They funded sabotage, bribed officials and ran covert affairs. Plot lines even explored assassination plots and dark schemes. Many proposals were discussed within classified regimes. Coordination with agencies, secrecy kept tight. Operation Mongoose, covered and wide, pulled aid to isolate the island and break its tide. Propaganda leaflets, economic sting, a multi-front approach to topple ruling string. Oversight was limited, debate within halls, moral and legal costs were shadowed by the calls. Operations hit sugar mills, shipping lanes and power grids. Sabotage and arson targeted what the state forbids. Intelligence gathered on leaders, movements and the fleet to plan deniable acts beyond the public see. Some actions succeeded, others were exposed. Operation Mongoose, tactics varied and bold. Some achieved disruption, some ran cold. The island tightened security in response and guard. Countermeasures made covert gains hard. The program fed into the crisis of '62. Missiles in Cuba provoked a superpower view. U.S. discovery of Soviet sites led to a global stand. Blockade and negotiation replaced some covered hand. Cuban Missile Crisis altered the covert frame. Operation Mongoose, influence in the back, heightened tensions brought the world near the track. Diplomacy followed brinkmanship and fear. Covert measures receded as negotiations steered. After the crisis, public scrutiny and debate arose. Questions of legality, of risk and hidden pros. Records later show bread funding lines and files. A Cold War chapter of clandestine shadowed minds. Committees and historians later parsed the thread. Operation Mongoose, legacy reviewed. A program of many methods, some approved, some eschewed. It shaped U.S. covert trade craft and policy restraints, and left debates about limits and lawful complaints. Ethical questions lingered, covert acts and civilian harm. The balance of national security and oversight's calm. Results included disruption but not regime collapse. Castro remained in power despite exile collapse. U.S.-Cuba relations hardened for decades on. Embargoes and covert lines shaped the longer dawn. Short-term pressure proved not to force the fall. Operation Mongoose, tactical noise, strategic games outlasted by political poise. The island's course continued despite the covert fight, showing limits of covert power in broader sight. treasure born of fear and aim. Operation Mongoose remains a lesson in covert game.